see a bump or something.
That's not meant to be there. How do I fix this? Hang on, chat. You shouldn't notice anything. Whoop. Filters. There we go. Why does it smell like something's very hot? Hang on. I think that was a false alarm. I got a whiff of very hot plastic all of a sudden. I think it was just a whiff. I think we're good. My hair is so fluffy. Hey, Gerbenog, thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad that you all still exist. Back to lurking in my hidey hole. Hey, we have a lurk emote, which I guess you can't use because you're not a sub. Ignore me. I was like, well, we have a cool one. Yeah, that's fair. I forgot that it's a sub thing on this platform. All good. But yeah, I hope you're well. I hope you've had a good, I guess, month, pretty much. By the time I actually returned, considering the days that I could stream, the days that I left, and all the rest of it. Wait, did Cheetan just like my post? Like, is that actually Cheetan? It is Cheetan. Why did the Cheetan just like my post on Blue Sky? Care? That's bizarre. That's confusing. What? I don't understand why that's a thing. What? Where was I? Is my camera being weird? No. I don't know, like, I mean, we went live late because I installed new NVIDIA drivers yesterday. Maybe day before yesterday. And I was like, oh, let's see how this is all looking. Two of my screens were blinking on and off constantly. I managed to fix it by disabling the screens in Windows and then enabling them again. And I was like, okay, we're good. I'm going to leave it at that. And then I press the button for the stream PC, which turns off one of my monitors and flips it over to the stream PC. It's very fancy. I don't do anything. It just does it automatically. And then they start doing it again. So I've rolled back drivers and all sorts. It's still a bit iffy. I have no idea. Before I go, how many statues you bring back from your trip? When you say go, you can still hear me, right? You're just not asking questions. How many statues did I bring back? I posted them all in Discord if you haven't looked. They are in the collectibles channel. Well, I posted the ones that were for me. I guess I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I got about 8 for me. 2 I also had waiting for me when I got back home. Jinx from Arcane and Cheetan's not actually here, Jack. Don't get too excited. They just liked my Blue Sky, and I even clicked on the Cheetan on Blue Sky, and it has 65,000 followers. So I assume it's actually Cheetan. So I'm really confused. Oh, I think they're set up as a... Wait. I don't understand. They must have been set up as a bot? But, like... That is... I don't know. It's weird. I don't even know how they found my post, let alone anything else. Also, thank you for Aqua. Why are you thanking me now? Are you just remembering because I'm mentioning figures? Yeah, I don't have... I have a pile behind me that are going to tough as well. But, yeah. I didn't get too many. Really? I got key ones that I wanted, I'd say. Considering where they're stood currently, there are 3 that I got, 2 of them that sit together, that I wasn't anticipating. They were just very cheap and really cool. I think most things were kind of like deliberate. And to be honest, the biggest stuff was already at home waiting for me. With the... Although you can see Senju Gohara here now. Which... Like 2 days of super gluing stuff, I had to order some acrylic rods to replace the broken pieces, or the pieces that just were missing. But it looks pretty good. You can't really see anything from here because I'm in the way. But, and I can't... I guess I can move it, but I don't know if I want to. It's very delicate, but it's going to sit on a shelf, so who cares? And most, like, I won't see the super glue part. Let's see if I can. What? Like, you wouldn't know it's broken. So it came out pretty well. But it was also like £60 rather than 200 and more to get it like guaranteed not slightly broken. Like the main part of it's all there. Honestly, the stuff, the Jinx statue, which I bought whenever Arcane Season 2 came out, that I think it's my PC's not been on for a while, so it's the dust that's warm around the outside of it. Yeah, I think the Jinx statue is honestly, for the price, maybe the best statue / figure that I have. Like, it's made out of the same stuff, which I don't know what it's called. It's made out of the same stuff that my Blizzard ones are from, and I guess the Blizzard ones didn't cost that much either. But the detail and the modeling on it is pretty spectacular, and the coloring and all the rest of it. And I think it was like, it was 250? Maybe it's 200? I don't remember whether it was euros or pounds, but it was still very, very good. Considering most stuff that you buy is middle of the road figures. I don't buy too many like statues. And even like collector's editions for things are usually, you know, marked up, but they're not quite as expensive stuff. But I'm pretty happy with what I've got. I only have, like, looking at my shelves now, in terms of what I aimed to have, I don't really have any gaps. Like with the Senju Gohara that I just showed you, that's pretty much all of the Monogatari stuff. I do want to look up to see if there's a better Araragi, because getting the main character, because he's a guy, is nigh impossible. And that's like an alt version. But I think that's it, really. You're entertaining me while I weed? Where are you? Which side are you weeding? Like the now finished side? Or where you're clearing, are you clearing stuff? I don't know whether you mean literal weeding or if you're just moving stuff. So I should be less annoying and lurk? Let's not go that far. I can still see your name in the list. What is this? Oh, it's the Route. It's the Route 1 music. Oh, we know who's turned up if I've just turned into a derpy wolf. Hello, dear darling. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. Oh, I've just realized I need to update my picture, because the picture behind this now doesn't represent what's actually behind me again. 3 weeks away, I have shite everywhere. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think if you watch, I can't even point. If you watch where the tail is, when this fades back out, I think it'll look completely wrong. I think that's the only bit that's moved. At least in the visual that you can see. Oh no, there's a bit different on the left by where my name is too. But that's much harder to see. Why do I have a message? Is that just you responding? Yes. I'm sorry. There we go. And it's wrong. You can barely tell, but it is wrong. My hair is like attacking me. How are you, dear darling? How have you been? Well, I've been away so long that I'm not even sure what people have been playing. Because usually on a week-by-week basis, you know, stuff that's new or got new patches, I can kind of guess. But I have no idea. And I know while I was away, you specifically, dear darling, were playing Frostpunk 2 again. Was that while I was away, or was I just going away? I wasn't streaming. I know that much. It feels like 17 months away. Oh, Alters? Of course, of course. I forgot that came out. A lot of stuff happened during my time away when it comes to releases and things. And all I really played while I was away was lots of Mario Kart. Myself and the folks I was with, unfortunately one of them who's also in chat right now, we were playing Knockout mostly. Like, I would say 98% of our time was spent... In fact, more than that. 99.5% of our time was playing Knockout against the AI to try and get gold and everything. And we did. I think it was the last night before the sort of travel back to the airport hotel day that we did that. So, Mario Kart's good. I haven't played any online. We played some online while I was away. I haven't played any online on my own since I got back. I'm curious to see how insane people are at this point, because we were winning just. And seeing the TikTok videos of people playing Mario Kart, I realized that I have not taken any shortcuts. I'm just driving well and using items correctly, which is not really going to cut it online, especially when you get to a certain level, I guess. So, yeah. How is the Alters, though, dear darling? Is it good? I heard good things, but I also wasn't really around to catch people stream and talk about it and stuff. So, oh, there we go. You've answered me before you even know I asked you. Alters, wow, we got a bot already. The stream boo place is still pushing bots out. I mean, I guess that's why I pay for WiseBot, because it does definitely get rid of those. Story is absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't remember it enough. Finished the story and immediately went back and basically had a minor breakdown of how amazing the story was. That's really, really cool. I'm really glad, because I mean, that's what it seemed like it was going to do. I just wasn't sure if they could pull it off. What? How do I even... Oh, let me look at, like, recent releases list. Game releases 2025. What the hell came out in June? June. What do we have? Yeah, so here's all the Switch 2 stuff. Well, I bought a bunch of games while I was in Japan, which I can't remember if they're in the photos or not. I bought Catherine, I bought Fantasy Life I, and I bought Fantasian. Fantasy Life I is a new game, so I had to buy that new. The other two were secondhand. One I bought Catherine's literally because it was the Switch edition and had the sleeve, and I don't own Catherine yet. And Fantasian because it was cheap, because I'm buying those games for well over half price. So, and the physical edition, so I'll take that. They did such an amazing job. I don't have the words to express how perfect the story beats were, how amazing the characters were. You have to play it. I will definitely play it. I'm kind of in this weird middle ground with games at the moment where I don't know what the hell I want to play. Also, I'm doing something in World of Warcraft at the moment that I only have a month to do, and I don't actually physically know if I can do it. So that's a thing. And I need to figure out what's coming out, what I want to be playing. Like, the last game I played before we went away was Nightreign, and I absolutely adore Nightreign. I don't even know if they've they done anything to Nightreign while I was away? Let's have a look. Everdark Sovereigns will come back? The hell does that mean? What? Everdark Sovereign Sentient Pest lands? Pest lands on July 3rd? Wait, have they like been putting harder bosses in? Oh, there we go. Oh, enhanced challenges. Okay. Wait, I can't. Oh, I guess like it's a limited time thing. Alters Excalibur Pure Sale. Yeah, I mean, I pretty sure Alters is on Game Pass. So I should. In fact, I haven't opened Game Pass. We can have a look and see what's on there too. We're gonna play Auction Not Included on Thursday because they had a DLC when I was away, and that's like one of my favorite games. So we're gonna play that and check that out. I don't even know what the dinosaur parts are, but I was curious, and I can chat a lot while that's happening, so that's pretty easy. Okay, what was I doing? So, okay, so enhanced version of the bosses are available throughout July. At the moment, none of them are available. So it's like, basically a buffed up version will exist. There were some hot fixes, some bugs and stuff, but there's been nothing major. Okay, so we can leave Nightreign where it is for now. What else came out? This is all Switch stuff. This is literally all Switch stuff. So much came out on Switch that day. Mind's Eye, that went really well, didn't it? Stellar Blade on PC. There was another big update for Hades 2. Yes, there was, which I believe is rumored to be the final, if not the like very close to being the final update before launch of the entire 1.0, which we will be playing 1,000,000%. I need to finish the first one still. Need to get back into my routine of doing that. Because I'm like pretty close to getting the true ending of Hades 1, so that I'm all ready for Hades 2. What else came out? Thanks for redeeming that again. I thought you were going away and weeding. Oh, Date Everything came out, which apparently is hilarious. I guess we need to add that to like a Valentine's list, because we should play that around Valentine's Day, because that'll be fun. I am? You are. Okay. You are annoying. Yes. Rematch did really, really well. I've seen that it had like 1 million or so players, which is the like football game made by the Sifu guys. Okay, so nothing else too crazy. I know Death Stranding was a big one, but I have zero interest in playing Death Stranding. I will watch it at some point. Some of the art choices they made in the second game give me big ick vibes, so I'm struggling to pick it back up. What do you mean? Like designs of the gods or something? Or just like the art itself? I haven't seen any Hades 2 art that I dislike so far. But I love that art style in general. Yeah, okay. There was nothing there. The art choice for Dionysus in particular just feels unnecessary. I don't remember what his design is for Hades 2. I know what his original one was. Oh! Oh, no, I've seen that. Yeah, I guess it's a little less classy than his original one. But he's exactly the god that would do that. So it doesn't bother me particularly. But I watch anime, so who am I to talk about anything? That feels very much like making it fair across the scale. This reminds me of when it's not subtle. I have a preference for subtle. I guess Dionysus isn't subtle, and maybe they didn't feel that came across enough. Feels like fan service for me. I mean, I think Hades is kind of fan servicey in general, because all their art's gorgeous, right? But I don't have an issue with it. I understand why you might though. But if you gave Dionysus a page in a calendar of all the Hades gods, that's exactly what he would look like. That's how I would take it, at the very least. Okay, where are we at? We're at the 8th of July. Anything come out so far? Mecha Break came out. Did Mecha Break did it do anything? Mecha Break. PC? I don't know why I had to put PC in. No, it looks like it's mixed on Steam. It has 14,000 reviews, but it's mixed. Okay. I don't know what's the negative about it. I don't care if it doesn't work on Linux, I'll be perfectly honest. That's not useful. Okay, so the monetization seems bad. That's kind of expected. What else? What else? Well, there's a new Angry Birds game. Okay, there's nothing here. Okay, so there doesn't appear to be anything for me personally until Donkey Kong, which is a week, 10 days. Going back to Hades 2 though, I don't think I can appreciate, I don't think the gods' designs were too much of a bother to me that I would stop playing it for that, because it's just such an addicting game loop more than anything. Like, I think Hades, like, broke most ARPG, roguelite type things. Because if it doesn't feel like Hades, or as good as, like, why did you play it? I definitely struggle in that sense. So in that sense, I hope you can get past it, so that you can enjoy what is most likely a fantastic video game. I don't know if I'll be playing enough of it on stream to give you the fulfillment of it, but I'll try. Yeah, there's not a great deal. Oh, I feel bad that the Wandering Village is hitting Switch on the same day as Donkey Kong. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Okay, so there's nothing crazy, which means we can revisit some stuff, which is good. Here's some little things from off-putting. Soul art change for some of the gods irks. And gets decreased. Parts of it right now are agonizing to even attempt, which didn't feel like the case in the first game. Yeah, that's fair. Admittedly, I haven't played it since we first streamed it back when it launched. So I'm hoping that's kind of the reason I'm waiting for 1.0, because I'm kind of hoping they smudge over that. Oh, Mecha Break's on Game Pass. I don't think Ultimate Chicken Horse is back on Game Pass? The Ascent? I don't know what The Ascent is. Oh, Rematch is also on Game Pass. Okay. Firebreak, The Altars, Kingdom, 2 Crowns is back on Game Pass. Hey, Symphonia's on there. I know that game. Metaphor is on there? I didn't realize that. That's cool as hell. Decent amount of games. I've sunk 760 hours into Kingdom 2 Crowns. Aside from the fact that I'm far too close to that game, because CodeSync co-developed the original base game, I don't know how you do that. That game doesn't like I enjoy it, but it doesn't have that level of loop for me personally. So that's impressive and slightly insane. But I do know that that's what you do if you enjoy a game, is you have like space on your shelf for few games, and if they're not developed by 11-bit, I am always going to be shocked. Why is there a game called Who's Your Daddy? It's not on Game Pass, it's just a deal. Okay. Is there anything else that came? Anything? Oh, 2 T's on Game Pass. Okay, that's pretty cute. I really love the soundtrack for the Norselands DLC. Someone's pointing out it's my anti-stress game. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it is a great loop for that. I can see that. Okay, so I'm all the way back to Doom on Game Pass. So there's nothing crazy for me that came out on Game Pass. The Altars being one of the exceptions. And that might be it. And Metaphor. But Metaphor, that's not a stream thing. That's just a I want to play that at some point thing. I don't actually have any idea. Like, I'm really hoping that... oh yeah, we've still got Oblivion installed. I forgot that Oblivion existed. That happened. That I play on Cursed, which means a lot of failure and restarting. That's fits you perfectly. I feel like your chill games are where you're so engaged that you can't think about anything else. Rather than it being like an actual relaxing game like Slime Rancher or something, there's too many gaps. You think about stuff. You need a game that's like constantly challenging your brain so that you just don't have any room for anything else. Which is a different way to relax, but I get it. I get it. Okay, so there's nothing crazy on Game Pass. Is there anything coming out soon? Wait, Stellar Blade... Wait, why does Stellar Blade PC sat here? Did I see it twice? Confused. Complete Zen mode. Good luck getting a conversation. I mean, I likely forgotten both mother tongues and how to blink. Yeah, again, I think it's like I'd struggle to call it Zen mode. I definitely think it's like the opposite to that. But for your brain, it's Zen mode. For anybody else, it's torture. Yeah, why does it say Stellar Blade PC there? I thought Stellar Blade PC came out way earlier than that. Oh well. I don't really care. I already played Stellar Blade, and it was fine. Yeah, and there's nothing much later. I don't even know when the next, like, big release is that I'm waiting on. Ghost of Yotai is pretty exciting. When are they doing the PlayStation thingy? I saw it talked about earlier, but when it's usually really late here, though, so it won't be on stream. No, that's my picture. Where is the Ghost of Yotai one? I can't find it. There was like 12 million posts about it. Why can't I find it now? Oh, there it is. July 10th. At 10 p.m. Okay. So we'll talk about it the next time. But I think that's coming out in October, so that's fine. What the hell is Doronko Wanko coming out on Switch? I saw it at the corner of my eye and thought it was the Donkey Kong announcement, and then it made me laugh. Oh, it's about a dog? It's a Doronko action game? What does Wanko mean? Wait, what does it mean? Oh, it means muddy dog? Really? One? I mean, sure. Is Wanko like little dog? I don't know. I like how it's announced as a Doronko game. No, I didn't know that existed, but that's fine. Just made me laugh. Yeah, what else? What else? I mean, that's October. Switch has Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is probably the... I'm actually very excited for Donkey Kong, and I've never said that in my life. I've never actually... I enjoyed Tropical Freeze, but I wouldn't say I was, like, enamored by it. I'm trying to think if there's anything... I genuinely can't remember if there was anything, like, big that I'm waiting on. There's a bunch of, like, MMO updates, which I'm excited for. I'm still really enjoying Overwatch a lot. I've not touched Marvel Rivals for, like, over half a... like, I guess... month and a half, really? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I actually, what I want to look at quickly, before we spend all the time on Thursday doing it, what is the prehistoric pack actually add? Okay, I'm just going to switch over to... where are my screens? This one? Yeah. I don't think I can zoom in on this currently, but at least you can see what I'm looking at. So they added a prehistoric pack for auction not included. And like there's a dinosaur something or other here. And everything looks kind of prehistoric-y. So I assume it's a prehistoric because there was the last one they did. I'm getting excited. The last one they did was like a frozen planet. So I guess this is another choice. This is now the prehistoric planet. I don't know what it means, though. I bought it. I literally bought it on my phone when it was announced, having no idea what was in it. Look, I really, really like this game, okay? And I've never made it to the point where you can say you've beaten a run. Or even got it under control. My runs all end at some point, no matter how far I get, in just complete and utter failure. Okay, so Prehistoric Planet travel deep into the past to a forgotten world ruled by ancient dino-like critters, some so big that their stomping will auto-harvest crops, others so prey-driven that they can't be trusted in a ranch. Do they also have a taste for duplicants? Only one way to find out. There are brand new biomes, plants, resources, foods, and buildings, as well as 2 new recruits who've been stranded there for longer than they can remember. If one of them doesn't look like Robin Williams' character from Jumanji, I'll be very upset. Plus an exclusive collection of cosmetic blueprints. Okay, that's what most of this stuff is. Discover new long-range firepower to help your crew valiantly defend their new home. I've never got to the point where this would be a problem. Obliterate the incoming space rock before it hits. Oh my god, is this planet? Wait, is this planet literally going to have the meteor from the dinosaur extinction part? So that you have to, like, get to a certain point and defend your your asteroid before the other one smashes into you and destroys everything? That's really funny. Oh, there's an extra explosive scenario available in the lab. I think they've got a mode where that happens. I think they've actually got a mode where it probably wipes out your entire thing. That's really funny. Okay, what's in the DLC? New starting world, Relica, two new duplicants, Maya and Higby, new biomes, a vine-filled garden, a Jorbo-infested wetlands biome, and a feather biome full of hungry Rexes. New critters, the mighty Rex and Jorbo, the blissfully blank Lum and Dartle, the winged Nit and Mimica. So there's quite a lot. They didn't add this much in the Frozen one. New plants, new buildings, a dino meat smoker, peat generator, emulsifier, fossil block, and hanging fossil block. Okay, so they're decorations. New elements, shale, amber, resin. The old version has been renamed sap. Okay. Peat, nickel, biodiesel, and iridium. New points of interest. Okay. Cool. How cool. I'm very excited for that. Very excited for that. I don't know how easy it is to use the lab one, but it might be fun to just immediately start on the one where you're going to get destroyed. Because I'm not even going to last that long. I don't even know how long I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. What I was going to do, chat, is I was going to look through the photos from Japan and add a bit more context to them. Seeing as this is my, this is my get back into groove stream. But I posted a lot of photos, I realized. Because I was just giving you guys every photo I took, regardless of quality. I could even tell the quality with most of them. But I posted a lot of photos. Damn, a lot of photos. How many photos did I post? Okay, here we go. Oh, I posted photos that weren't mine, too. None. Okay. So I think I can just scoot through these. Oh, let me do this. There we go. Yep. So the first photo I posted isn't even my photo. This is Jack's photo from his side. I have a window seat. So that's his view of Fuji poking through the clouds. Hey, hi Thompson. Thank you so much for the follow. That is just a zoomed in picture of that. So not interesting. This is the very first photo I took in Japan. And this was... What were we doing? Were we trying to get... Were we just trying to get to the hotel? I think we were trying to get to the hotel. No, was it? Wait, where were we staying? Oh no, it was an Airbnb. I remember. We were staying at an Airbnb not too far away from Haneda Airport. It was really fucking hot, and we were gonna get. I think we were gonna get a taxi. Taxis were being dreadful because we're trying to use an app because we're silly, and we also had too many bags for a regular taxi. So the only option really was to use the train and stuff. Before, we've been on a flight for 14 hours, so we did get a little confused unnecessarily because it was not that confusing. Yeah, this is the little Airbnb we stayed at first. This was our first evening walk. Man, I took some. I apologize for my picture taking sometimes. I'm doing this as like a document. I don't even care what the photo is. This is the first meal. This is just the bog standard gyudon. In fact, I think this is the one with peppers. I think you can see them in it. This is just gyudon, so it's just rice. That beef that you can see poking out. Onions, green onion, sorry. This one has peppers in it. And I cracked a raw egg over the lot, which is why it's all goopy and delicious. And it's like this whole setup here. I even got extra onions, I've just noticed. This whole setup cost like, I don't know, probably like a $5, maybe £6. So yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, if I'm being honest. And delicious. This is my favorite. If I could recreate this here easily, I would. But one, I don't have enough interest in cooking. Two, gyudon meat is actually like... We don't really have... In England, we don't really have a version of the cut. Because I guess it's kind of like... Almost like bacon scraps, but with beef. I'm trying to think of the way it would be cut. But yeah, it's delicious. It's great. It costs, I think the base price is like 800 yen, which is a few quid, and it's just delicious for a quick meal. We went and stopped by a car showroom because I was with someone who really likes cars. I took these pictures for other people's benefit, having absolutely no idea whether these cars are cool or awful I mean, I'm sure they're not awful, but yeah, I took these pictures. I actually sent them to my brother because I was like, I'm sure you like this. I don't really know what I'm looking at. And that bike, for some reason, had Tintin stood next to it. Oh, I have to do these in chunks. Okay. Oh, we went to like an anime place where they license stuff. Like these are some of the merchandise that these guys have made. And somehow they've got a YouTube silver plate. I don't know what that's for. Maybe because they get like trailers and stuff. Yeah, see Sakamoto Days and Dr. Stone. This was on the way. That's my finger on the left. It's the car we picked up, and Jack Lee bending over as he does. The first picture... Wow, that picture came out terribly, didn't it? It was the first picture at night. I don't even know where I took that. I assume that was in the car. We would go... Yeah, it would have been when we were driving back, hence why it's so blurry. Driving the car back to the place. That's the first taiyaki I got, which... as you can see is... It kind of... Whoever made the taiyaki used too much batter. Because it's meant to look like a fish. It does not look like a fish. It was delicious. It was a little heavy because it was just mostly batter. But it was nice. And then the copy of Catherine that I picked up. Next. I think we were just driving at this point. Oh, yeah, it's the next place we were staying. So, fun fact... Fuji is here. This is when we first arrived, and I was like, where exactly is it supposed to be? It's like here. So Mount Fuji would be poking through there. I guess this is the town. I think this is I took out the car window on the way. This is when we arrived. Yeah, there's all the beds stuck together. Thankfully, there was another room. Oh yeah, and I found these. Which are actually, I think some of you may have seen my Steins Gate collection. But these were, they're nothing special. They were just figures, but they were 2013. There was a range of 6 of them. I thought it was a range of 4 of them last year. And then last year I discovered that there was actually these 2, whoops, that were extra. Or I say, that I didn't know about. And I had found them actually. They were just very expensive. And I was umming and ahhing because I just spent a lot on getting the one I thought was the final one of the set. And they're not even like that special. I found them in really random places. Like honestly, most of the set that I have, I found in really obscure secondhand shops. And I was kind of like, this is crazy. Like I didn't expect to find these type thing. And I kept finding like 1 or 2 here and there. And then I found these 2 in a silly little, like, I think it was the first figure shop, like secondhand place that we actually went into. And they were really cheap. I want to say they were 4,000 each, which is like 20 quid. So, like considering when I found them, was in Akihabara last year, and they were 60 quid each. And they're absolutely not worth that amount of money. I paid £50 for the other one because I genuinely thought it was the last. Like, I thought it was the completion of the set, and I wanted to get it over with. Then we did the what you do in Japan, which is you go and find a temple. And this is at Fuji. So we'd actually been to this before. There will actually be pictures probably in this channel from last year, which was in Fuji. And then we see Fuji emerging from between our Airbnb and the next door. It doesn't have, like I will say, like we saw Fuji multiple times, and it's very impressive, but it feels weird seeing Fuji naked. Like, without the snow top, the iconic snow top, it kind of feels like you're not looking at Fuji, even though it absolutely has to be, because it is gigantic. But I guess you also saw from the aeroplane picture at the start, there was no snow on Fuji. Yeah, this was just a random street nearby, because, again, very picturesque. This is a bakery we found in 2023 when it was raining like crazy. We were like, oh, there's a bakery here apparently, and it was like tucked away. So we went back to that and bought a bunch of stuff. One of these is like banana muffins. They are incredible. I really like banana bread. They're basically banana bread with bits of banana in it. The bread was fantastic. The rice bread was delicious. It had a slight bounce to it, a little bit like mochi does. It was really good. We spent like, I want to say 25 quid, but I don't think it was 25 quid. I think we spent 2,500. No, that doesn't feel right. Maybe we did spend. We spent like good like 20 quid in here because it was just like, here you go, sweet little lady, with your 3-day-a-week bakery. Have all of our money. And this is the lake down near where this bakery is, which is very cool. There's lots of people fishing. I realized the weather wasn't that great. It was fine, but it was not that great. And yeah, then this is the apple pie. So it was like she was trying to tell us that it wasn't sweet, but what she actually meant is there's just some salt in it. It was literally just, instead of it being like, I don't want to say overly sweet, but to counteract some of the sweetness of the apple, she'd added salt to it. It was fucking delicious. Absolutely no issue. It was not like salty. I think the pastry was salty. So I think it was Jack ate some of the pastry on its own and was like, oh, it's very salty. It's because it's literally, you can't, it's meant to be bitten with the apple because the apple's so like chunky. But that was delicious. Some more pictures of the lake. Fuji starting to appear more. Some more lake photos. Fuji getting there. This is, I've obviously uploaded these in a random order because this is the bottom of the shrine. Fuji on the, actually that was on the corner of the shrine. The shrine is to our left here, the entrance. Fuji started to emerge again. We actually have a picture of this somewhere from the 2 years ago. Yeah, another attempt to getting Fuji in that street. I really love the streets like this. It's just cool and picturesque. Some more of the shrine. Fuji again. Is that a different? Wait, what? Did I not go through all the pictures? There you go. Some more of the lake. Jack and Tom. Oh, we found, this is our first, I don't know how many people saw this. We found a huntsman. He was kind of gross. We also stopped the car because he appeared in the headlights because the shadow he cast upon the ground was big enough to be noticed on the road. We're like, what the fuck is that? And it was Mr. Huntsman. He's not like, he's a pretty decent size, but I don't think he's as big as I thought because I didn't get out of the car because too much effort to grab these pictures. Oh, then we went to what I can only describe as kind of an Instagram bait place. It was basically like there was lots of pictures of flower fields, and they are very pretty, but they are more like bands around the edge of the lake. So you could get photos like these. Don't get me wrong. I leaned into it entirely to get photos of Fuji like this. But yeah, there weren't actually that many flower fields, and they weren't really that big. So they were pretty, but it wasn't quite what we were expecting. Yeah, so lots of views of Fuji. As I said, Fuji looks weird without its snow top. I did see Fuji didn't blow up with you there. Yeah, no. I don't think there was anything while we were there, really. I think the island off the coast had like 900 microquakes. That's like really far away, and I don't know what microquake actually equates to. I don't know if it's just constantly slightly rumbling for 2 weeks or what. Because I've been there when there was an earthquake and I was asleep. So this is another lake. I mean, they have lots of bodies of water like that, but yeah, it's very pretty. This is out of the car window. Just getting lots of shots of Fuji because we didn't actually, we went to try and see Fuji in 2023 We never saw it, which still to this day makes me laugh. But it was really odd because I don't know if you Google Fuji, you probably see pictures of a Lawson's Kombini, like with Fuji behind it, because it's like perfectly sits on top of the Lawson's. We drove past that a couple of times, and both times had to Google, hang on, is that the Lawson's? Because there's no one there, when usually it's packed full of people. This is going to tough. And I got it, so I aimed for it because it is one of the boys from JJK, but also because I just wanted to play the game, right? So I won this. I didn't get any help from the staff. I actually just won this one, which is nice. We went for Coco Curry the same day. I always overdo it. There's a pork I was gonna say tonkatsu. There's a pork cutlet curry. There is rice under here. I also got chicken and vegetables, which ended up being a lot of potato. So I didn't need to eat for about 3 days after this, but it was exceptionally delicious. And again, it's like a chain. It's not even like a little mom and pop's one. So it's delicious, but there are better. Oh, this is the ice cave that I assume we went to before curry, but the pictures are in the wrong order. So this was a weird phenomena, which I think Cyberpunk actually like asked questions about. So like it was 32 degrees outside, maybe 33. I have no idea what that is in American nonsense units. So I apologize. But yeah, so it was really hot. It was really hot. But this cave it's called the Ice Cave, okay? In English, they just say it's called the Ice Cave. And I was like, all right, you know, interesting. But no kidding. I don't know if have I got pictures of the steps? No, I got pictures of bits and pieces, but I took a picture of I must have that picture. Is it in the next set? Yes, here we go. So like this is the entrance, right? It's like 200. It was like a couple of quid to go in it, and it's just a loop. It's like 20 minutes. Loop round. And it was like, oh, okay, it seems cool. Let's go and see what the ice cave is all about. But no, it's literally full of ice. You walk, like you take 3 steps down and it goes from 32 degrees to, oh, I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt and it's really cold in here. And you just keep following this little path and you go, I don't know how far you go down. A decent way, but yeah, this is at the very bottom where there's actually like huge amounts of ice everywhere and water just resting. As you can see, like literally bricks on the right-hand side. But this apparently used to be where they quite literally mined for ice. A long time ago, I guess. But yeah, it's wild. Absolutely wild. There's a tiny little shrine down here too. But yeah, some of these pathways, like they said, be careful of like bumping your head. But like this is me taking this photo like completely vertically. The path is like that. Because it's, I guess, that's the tunnel that they made to get through, to get down originally, and they've just obviously turned it to a touristy thing. But yeah, it's absolutely insane. It was very cool. It was very refreshing too for the day that we were on. But yeah, it was absolutely wild, like completely wild. Then Fuji came out to play. We went to a like a mock old village, almost like a. I want to say it was a museum, but it wasn't really a museum. It was more of a few buildings were museums and the rest were all like local crafts and stuff. There was a really fantastic artist in one of the back ones that had some really cool art. Unfortunately, the prints of his art were dreadful. Like they felt like scans on an old scanner and then printed on shit paper. And it really upset me because his art was lovely. And obviously his original pieces were very expensive, which is completely fair. And I was like, oh, I totally want a print of this. But I couldn't justify it because while they weren't that expensive, they were so bad. They were so bad. Like the ink had like bled quite a bit and they just lost all of the charm of the piece that was on the wall behind it. So that was a shame. There were some postcardy bits, but they didn't have postcards of the ones that I liked. But the others got a couple of those. He did have a picture, which I don't regret asking because there's no way I'd have been able to afford it. And I'm not quite sure how I got it home. But there was a Fuji piece that was very like dark and black, like ink, that I really liked. But all of his pieces were very expensive. So I didn't want to ask how much that was because I knew it would be even more expensive. But yeah, this village was cool. Had lots of cute little things in it. Just showing off how they used to be. I don't know where that is. Oh, did I post the curry twice? Oh, it was that good I posted it twice. This is back at the Airbnb when Fuji properly came out. Some pretty good photos of Fuji. You can see just how monolithic it is in the landscape here, though. Absolutely insane. And this is kind of just the area. I don't... did I upload that for a reason, or was that just because it was cool? I think it was just because it was cool. I don't even think I realized I uploaded that. It's just more... I think we stopped somewhere. Took a little walk. Oh, yeah, this was like another lake. I think this was just the other direction. And there's the curry again. Yeah, I took a picture by the bridge. I was really obsessed with trying to take pictures with like a really blurry foreground item and then leading into a background. I don't know why. I just thought it was cool. It felt like it gave a bit more depth to stuff because a lot of the like landscape pictures in general don't do places justice, which is honestly why I don't really take pictures that much. I actually take a lot of pictures for Tough or for other people. So like, hey, this is where I am. This is what I'm doing. Rather than for myself, because you just, I don't know, can't quite capture it. Yeah, it's another one of my attempts to frame the picture, which I thought was, I actually quite like that one. And then more food. We got some ipdo. This is just tonkotsu ramen. It is, you can actually get this in the UK. The UK version is like 80-90% the same. They kind of do the same as they do with cocoa curry in the UK. They actually like, you know, I think they even, in this case, they literally like ship over the broth from Japan. So it tastes exactly the same. It's just, you know, the pork will be slightly worse in the UK, etc. But just delicious. Like we had so much food, and I think, you know, there was only one meal that I can say was good, but it was fine. And that was because it was too late in the day and we couldn't get into places and we just picked somewhere quickly. And it was a chain and we kind of knew it was going to be like mediocre, but it was still, I would say it was still better than what you would call mediocre over here in the UK. So that was also fantastic. We went to a donut place because Jack wanted to show us this donut place. It was just a great donut. Just a little splodge of jam in the middle. Strawberry deliciousness. Again, on the way, taking photos out of a car is really difficult in Japan because all of the highways have massive walls or half walls, so you get a lot of these photos. Hey, Nenny, welcome. Hello. Totally to catch me streaming. Yeah, I haven't been streaming because I was in Japan. Yeah, I've been away for 3 weeks. I've been off stream for a bit longer because of the ways the days lined up. But yeah, we were in Japan for 21 days in total. So I guess about 19 when you take out travel stuff. So yeah, I'm going through everything I can to try and remember what we did and talk about it. Did I enjoy my time? Yeah, I mean, I'm incredibly fortunate that I've been to Japan. 2018, 2019... 2022, 23, 24, 25. So I've been for many times now and very different, like all connected to work, but like with very different people and very different goals. In 2018, I went to Japan for about 48 hours. I'd barely been at the company. It was like, oh, we're going to take you to Japan to do this show. do you want to hang around afterwards? And I was mortified because, yes, I'd always, like, Japan always seemed like a cool place, but, like, I'd never anticipated being able to go. But also, like, it was like, do you want to go and stay there for a time? You can stay as long, like, take holiday and stay as long as you want. But I, being the meek boy that I am, was like, no, I'm fine. Having no idea, like, you know, the language and how difficult it would be. And I hadn't been abroad really as further than, like, Italy when I was a kid. So, like, I'd never really done anything like that. So I was like, no. I obviously got there and was like, oh, this is kind of easy. And also, why the hell am I going home in, like, 24 hours, or, like, 48 hours? So, yeah. Safe to say that we didn't do that again. But that was the first time. And then this week's obviously, like, 3 weeks, which is kind of hilarious. Is there anything you loved most about your visits? Is that difficult to single out? It's really difficult because I kind of just, like, I've talked about it before on stream, I think. But, like, I just love the vibe. There's just a really nice atmosphere in Japan, ignoring all of the bugs. There's just something nice about being in Japan. I really enjoyed, there's a trip, I think it was 2022. We just kind of picked a place and we kind of stayed. We stayed in Osaka for a week and then we like took day trips because we didn't have a car, took day trips out of it. I really just enjoyed existing in Japan. So yeah, it was really, really nice in that way. And I just think that it's just, I mean, the food's incredible. I said, this is something I said a million times, and I say this to anyone who asks. I hate the fact that we don't have access to food the way that you do in Japan. If you just want to go out for lunch, there is like streets lined with food everywhere, and it's all reasonably priced, and a lot of people do just eat out, and it's not all shit food. Like, it's not just, oh, we're all going to McDonald's, right? Like, it's mostly like rice, and obviously you can get much more healthy things if you could be a bit more adventurous. So yeah, that part always irks me about coming back. Do you have a chance to visit shrines? You've actually missed the first one, but if you're hanging around for a bit, there'll be some more. We went to loads of places, lots of natural locations. We were in the middle of the countryside for most of the time. We were only in a city. We were in a city when we landed, of course, for like a couple of days. Or no, I think a day, maybe. 2 nights by the time we landed, like when I had a nap and stuff, kind of like a day. Then we were in Osaka for 3 days, which was super nerdy. I just went to the dolly shops, as we've called them, lovingly. And we stayed in Nagoya for like a day. So that was the only time we were in a big city. Every other time, we were quite literally either in the middle of fucking nowhere or very close to that. Sorry, missed that? Oh, no, don't worry. You just weren't here. That's not a problem. So this was Nagoya, if I remember correctly. So it's super city. It felt very American as a city because it actually had quite a lot of space. So I feel like Nagoya maybe was built later than the others because it didn't have quite the same crampedness that Japanese cities often feel like. I think I got a nighttime shot, which is when it really comes to life. Oh yeah, we were just watching anime. We're literally watching anime in a hotel room. Oh yeah, there was a random, it's like a jump shop. It was a shonen jump shop. Just had the boys looking slightly weird. Sorry, I was questions. No, do not worry. Do you get figures for your back walls? Yes, I did. If you pop into the Discord and go down to collectibles, I posted everything I got in there. It's easier than trying to show you because I can't move a couple of them because they're on their shelves. But yeah, have a peek. I got a few. I've got a lot more, but they're not in there because they're not mine. They're Tufts, and you can kind of see them. The pile of them packaged up to go to Tough when I see it next. Oh yeah, this was. I didn't even have this. I think this was. Yeah, that was Tom's. That he said was out of this world. There's the 3 of us at a shrine. Then we went to look at cars. That's so sweet of you to bring Tough gifts. Oh, I made sure she gave me a list. I think there was only a couple of things I bought that she didn't ask. I say ask for. She never asked me for anything. But just stuff that was like, what do you want? This is like, you know, gonna go here. I'm gonna get you stuff. Because I'm already going to that stuff anyway, so it's not like it's putting me out of the way. I enjoy trying to find it anyway. Oh yeah, we had a Awaji onion burger. So the bottom piece here, that's just a big onion ring. But it's from Awaji onions. And you talk to anyone in Japan about Awaji onions, they're like sweet. Like big onions, but they're like sweet. And that burger was insane. So yeah, we didn't... Unfortunately, they're only in a certain amount of, like 4 or 5 shops in a very certain part of Japan. And we never quite made it back to an area where there was one of them, right? We just look at all these random cars. I just took pictures of random cars. I don't understand cars. So that was that. Then we went... Oh, we did a quick walk, like temple walk, which was pretty fantastic, which I think should be a bunch of pictures for. Yeah, it was absolutely massive. This is a... Shinto one? Friends, co-workers. Every time I've been with co-workers / friends. All to do... Because they've always been to do with work, so... I've never been outside of something connected to work. But, you know, I like the people I went with, so it wasn't really an issue. Yeah, some massive trees. This was quite late in the day, so it was quite empty. There's lots of crazy woodland and stuff around it. Me framing stuff again. I don't know where I took this picture. I think this might have been in the next place we stayed. That's not the same place. I think we did this on the way to the next place. This was pretty cool. We followed a little monk going around and praying at each. We did accidentally. Just happened to take his path. But it was very pretty. Yeah, this is the next place because this was Peter. Feels so unusual. Not everything is super crowded. It's because the only things like you see online are they're like, oh god, there's so many tourists, which there are, but they're only concentrated in like 3 locations. The second you go an hour away from Tokyo, you won't. You'll see some, and there'll be certain hotspots, but for the most part, it's just normal Japan. But yeah, this guy hung out for a while. Like 2 days. This was a little arcade, which was fun. Then we went to the coastline, and there should be a shrine here somewhere. There's a little torii gate. Yeah, and there's the route to the shrine, because there's the torii gate. That's a terrible picture. And there's the shrine, which is very Ghost of Tsushima for some reason, and I don't know why, because I don't know why that reminds me of Ghost of Tsushima any more than anything else in Japan does. Yeah, the frogs were cute. Found lots of crabs at this location too. Well, I did say when I was actually stood there, it was very odd because it was weird being somewhere in Japan that smelled like the sea, because I'd never been to the sea in Japan and I don't associate the smell of the sea with Japan. It was very confusing. Yeah, this was just cool. I think where are the birds? Oh, there's a crab. Another little shrine. Crab with his fresh claws. That picture barely captured him because I'm zoomed in so hard. And the sun was starting to set. Very cool, very cool. Oh yeah, there we go. I did get one of the birds sat on the shrine. Oh, I picked up Fantasy Life. I don't know why I've got a picture of orange juice. I don't even think that's my picture. Oh, and that was an onsen that we went to. That looks like it's just an LED light. It's not green. This was... What was this? I remember... Oh, there was a shrine at the top of a hill. This was the worst day of... the worst few hours of walking. There were so many steps in this. It was in the middle of nowhere, so there was lots of spider webs too. Actually, no, this wasn't too bad for spiders. There was lots of bugs, but not spiders. It was a bamboo forest, and like this was the literal track up. It wasn't exactly. Yeah, it wasn't exactly not maintained, because it definitely was used, but they just have an access road. The way you walk up it was this. And there was some green tea on the way, like green tea bushes. A part stop halfway. We reached the ocean again, which was very cool. It was me trying to zoom in to see what I could see over here. And this was the part that started to kill, because it was just this for quite a while. That's me trying to be artsy. What do we have under here? Yeah, you can see Jack and Tom down there. But this was the top. No, this wasn't the top. I'm lying. This was the information area and basically the top. There was a small bit up, a bit further up, which is technically the top. Yeah, I don't know what... I didn't translate this in the end because I didn't have any signal, I don't think. So I don't actually know what those stones were for. But they were... I'm going to guess they were part of something at some point. And they do... Because Japan is interesting compared to, like... I don't know, the UK does. UK, like, tends to protect something and keep it exactly as it is. And that might be because we build stuff out of stone, so it will last. But a lot of stuff in Japan is obviously made out of wood, and it will just fall down and rot away. So when that's going to happen, they just rebuild it in exactly the same way and make it look as identical to what it was originally like as humanly possible, because they still have all the traditional methods and stuff. And then it's just bright and shiny, but it is the same temple or shrine or whatever. So you find a lot of, like, there'll be lots of different versions of them over the years. This, I assume, was the original shrine rope. Because this is the actual shrine. This is the shrine to, I believe, the god of the mountain that people would pilgrimage to. But I can't remember off the top of my head. And there's obviously, I saw a lot of this. There's a lot of significance of putting these chutes on torii gates near shrines, because that happened a lot. I don't know what that signifies. Why is this not loading? I think it's just not. This was at the top. There was like a viewing platform. It was like a cute little shot. That's a terrible picture because I had to zoom in so far. That's quite nice. Light wasn't great though. Yeah, and this is me taking some shots on the way back because I realized I didn't take shots all the way. But yeah, this was like the path. Some more shots of the ocean. This was outside of the chicken ramen place, I think. Why have I put this here when I don't see any chicken ramen in these photos? Yeah, because that's the place there. Some shots. I think these are just shots in the car as we were going past places, because just everything looks like this. I think we stopped and took a few photos. That one certainly didn't. These ones are definitely in the car. We definitely stopped a couple of times. Just, yeah, insane views. Insane views. This lake was crazy deep. Even from, like, right at the edge, you couldn't see anything. It was... yeah, absolutely insane. I don't think that's my photo. That's color graded weird. That's got to be somebody else's photo. Back in the car. This must have been, again, stuff from before we stopped. This, we were just up the top. We were doing, like, mountain roads, and this was, like, insanely high above sea level. It's hard to gauge in photos, though. Yeah, like, some of this stuff is absolutely insane. Oh, we stopped by a little river, to which there was like a water fountain that had been turned on and had almost made its own river back to the river, so I turned that off. But yeah, just insanely clear water in this river, because there's not really any movement, because the movement was all... I don't know why I'm pointing my screen. The movement was all over here, so this was very still. So there was... and it's all on volcanic rock, a lot of it, so it's so insanely clear. There's some pretty okay photos here. This is when we walk to look at some falls, which I don't know. Are they in the next lot? Yes. Some cute waterfalls. Then we walked up on where there's like bridges over here and stuff. We walked up higher to get a better view of some bigger waterfalls. I think I've got some better pictures in the next chunk. Yeah, I took some in the almost in the water. Yeah, that's that drop off there. It's pretty serious. The other side of that, because that's a bridge, like a suspension bridge going over there. That's just a drop. Yeah, there you go. It's not like you'd survive it, but you definitely get really hurt because it's just rocks. That's not a splash pool. There is one that has a splash pool somewhere nearby, but not this one. Back in the car again. This is a temple in Kyoya-san, which is very close. It was literally like across from where we were staying. So you literally like walk through it to get to food. And this was the food. I'd eaten most of the edamame already. Again, it's not a particularly pretty picture. I was just eating edamame. This was the most insane karage that we'd ever had, which is essentially Japanese fried chicken. But obviously the herbs and spices and things. And it was massive. It's no joke. It was like that big. Absolutely insane. And the prices were ridiculous. It was so cheap that we almost messed ourselves up and ordered too much food because we didn't realize how big the portions were going to be. This was rice porridge, which was delicious. It had like egg in it, a load of veg, and just like rice. And I can't remember if it had a meat at all. I don't think it did. It was just veg and stuff. That was nice. That's like a gate. You can see the stairs through into the temple grounds. And this is lit up at night time, so it's very pretty. And this is the path through the temple. I keep uploading. I've realized I've uploaded the same pictures quite a lot. Same gate. It's a very different rice porridge than the Norwegian one. I would guess the Norwegian one is probably more similar to what we would call rice pudding. At least consistency-wise. It's more like actual porridge rather than... They definitely have more of a thing for like soupiness. This was a little temple. Just rice and milk, yeah. They've got... I think the difference is because they don't have milk, right? None of the traditional food has milk. At least not much of it, because they just don't have access to milk, really. So I guess that's where the difference splinters. I thought that was a spider then, it's just the marking. Yeah, this was called the Daimon Gate, but it definitely just says Demon Gate on Google. This is like one of the sides of the town has this on it. Which is very cool. And it was very empty, considering this is a tourist destination. And they have these chicken wire, thankfully, are for birds, not for gaijin. It's just because birds will get in there and poop on everything and destroy it. So, because these are wooden. And then this was... this was actually... like, insane. The host of our Airbnb told us about a few bits and pieces around in the area. And he said that, like, this walk from the Demon Gate up to the top... lovely view, like 25 minutes up, 25 minutes down. It was more like 40 minutes up and an hour and a half down. And like we weren't going slow. It was not really a path. It was the steps were after this bit, the steps were basically just where the tree roots poked out and they kind of naturally made steps. Which I probably got some pictures of, but yeah. So it was insane. It wasn't as hard walking as the other place, but because of the slope, but it was intense. So this is all fine. This started pretty okay, but then it started to like peter out, and it had been raining like the day before, so it was a little soft. And this was just the kind of like the kind of area it became. There's a little shrine part way up, as per. This was like, I don't know, a quarter of the way up. We've got a view like this, which is pretty sick, to be fair. And that was back towards... So that was where I took the first pictures of the gate. This is in that complex. So you can see how far away we are at this point. More thick woodland, another shrine. I think this was the top. Yeah, this was at the top. You can see the old Torii gates and the new Torii gates. Yeah, and this was the kind of path we were traversing a lot of the time. It's just tree roots. Found a little froggy boy or toady boy. We weren't quite sure, and then we realized that none of us really know the difference between a toad and a frog. I think it's a frog, but it could be a toad. And then you start to see, like, that's the road down there, and this is just a slope that goes straight to the road. If you slip off here, and you can look at the like, this is the edge of the path. It's not a wide path. It's like it's kind of precarious. I'm very, very glad it didn't actually rain. Like, it was damp. If it had rained, like it rained either that night or the morning after, we'd have been stuck, because it would just cause landslides almost. It was so wet and slippery. And some of the steps around trees and stumps and things, you were literally walking on like something like that wide, just like a couple of steps to get round, and it was just a drop next to it. It wasn't for the faint-hearted, let's put it that way. Oh, and then this was back on the way through town. There's lots of these in this area. It's like a lot of Gaijin go there for like the sort of monk temple experience. So you get locked in at 5 and you're up at 4 for prayer and all the rest of it, because it's like a Buddhism / Shinto area. But it's pretty cool. But we weren't there for that. So it was really interesting because there was Gaijin everywhere, and then after 5 there was no Gaijin. So it was good for getting food. It meant that it wasn't too hard to get food in the evening. This is inside. We actually walked around this place, but we weren't allowed to take photos. And then we went to the biggest graveyard in Japan, which is like, I think he said it had 2,000 graves, but that doesn't seem right. That seems small. So I don't know what the 2,000 was for. I don't remember. But some of these graves are from like the, 1523 and stuff. Some of them have been put up in memory of like feudal lords and stuff. I'm pretty sure all of these are for children. I think this is the way, like, these little ones are always children. But yeah, the atmosphere in here was wild, because it's absolutely massive as well. And it had been raining. And this old shrine, I don't know if I have a better picture of it. No, I don't have a picture of it there. But that old shrine hadn't been touched since like 1966. Been rebuilt after a couple of 100 years. Big tree, crazy old, like, moldy shrines? That's not right. Mossy shrines. Mossy graves and stuff. Just crazy scope and scale of everything. Yeah, it is a really old area. But yeah, it was absolutely incredible. And then we got, like, delicious curry. Oh my god. It cost 1,000 yen. And it was... You can see pork cutlet underneath there. And some rice. It was 1,000 yen, so it was, I don't know, £5. £4 something, actually. And it was homemade by this one little lady. And it was kind of a fusion. Like, Japanese curry and Indian curry are quite different. Japanese curry doesn't usually have anything to do with tomatoes. This was tomato-y based. So it was almost like a mixture between what we'd expect in the UK as like a Rogan Josh and a Japanese curry. It was delicious. And there were some lovely old boys trying to talk to us as well, which is always cute. Then we went to the waterfalls. So we went to a lot of waterfalls this day. And they are absolutely breathtaking, obviously. Just lots, because there's lots of mountains, right? So there's lots of waterfalls. This one, oh yeah, this one's the one that's an onsen. So we're at a viewing platform, but you can see there, it's like a tiny little pool. There's a pool down here too. So I think these are fed with hot water, and then you can go. I think you might be able to go swimming in this part, or maybe you can just use these pieces and look at this. I don't actually know what the. Didn't see anyone in here, but we were there quite late in the day. And we weren't able to use it because you can't, like, you just get checked for a ticket down here. Like, there's somewhere else you buy a ticket. But this was just a crazy, crazy corkscrew road to get from, like, quite high up on the mountain all the way down. You just went round and round and round until you got, like, to where we were here. And then more pictures of the waterfalls. One of these, that's probably mine. That picture's not mine. That one's mine. Yeah, I've got someone else's pictures mixed in here. That's very cool. More views from the road. That's barely a picture. That's a bit better. This is Osaka? Yes, this is Osaka. Do I have any night shots of Osaka? I don't. This is in the road. There's some rice paddies. This was Korean. I don't actually know what the term was for it. It was very unique. Never been to a Korean place in Japan. Also found out they cook it for you. You don't touch it, which amused us because we had no idea what was going on. And usually you cook stuff yourself, but they came over and cooked it for us. But it was delicious. And these were the only pictures I had of it starting and a load of kimchi. The kimchi was fantastic. Oh, there we go. There's Osaka at nighttime, which is always more impressive. Yeah, nighttime Osaka. These are just random pictures of model shops. I uploaded these because I sent these in the group chat when I found certain things. But I was just letting people know what was here. Some amazing light pollution. Yeah. Yeah, it's one hell of a... Like, how far you can see is insane. Wait, what did I close that for? Oh, yeah, there's Senjogohara, which I got for 15,000 yen because she was broken. That's one for tough. Hey, then we got Ichiran. Ichiran is like... If you ever see... Like... very obvious tourist spot ramen on TikTok or whatever, it's always Ichiran. Ichiran is delicious, but it's turned into that thing where like traveling YouTuber folk people will be like, don't go to Ichiran, there are much better places, and then like almost tell you that Ichiran's bad, go here, when Ichiran's fantastic. It's a chain, but it's always delicious, and you can customize it like how hot, like how firm your noodles are, how spicy you want it. Like everything. It's fantastic. You can see I got extra pork and extra greens here. The difference is it's not worth waiting 2.5 hours for, which will happen if you're in like the middle of Kyoto in a very touristy one. Right. That's the difference. If it's empty, go and get it. It's cheap. It's fantastic. It's really good ramen. But yeah, if you're standing there in a queue for 2.5 hours to get Ichiran, there's definitely another ramen place around the corner that's probably empty and as delicious, if not more so. But yeah, that was delicious. I don't know why there isn't a picture of the chicken ramen that we went to. I realized that I must have taken a picture and not uploaded it. But we also had chicken ramen, which was delicious in a different way. I don't like it as much as pork ramen, that's for sure. Just because it actually kind of gave me vague... Because obviously it is soup of a degree. And it kind of associated it with chicken soup. And I felt like I was having something chicken soup related, which is not the like Asian flavor that I associate with. So I prefer pork. Pork has more flavor for me anyway. And then this is just of a toilet because it made me laugh because clearly someone had gone into this toilet and been like, there's no toilet roll. And so they just put 1 million on the wall and it made me laugh. I don't know why that was a solution, but it was funny. This was the next place we stayed. Hey, we went to Sukiya, which is like the one at the very start. It's another like this whole bowl, like a little salad, some beef on some rice with some greens, a raw egg, and an apple juice. It's like 6 or 7 quid. So good. So good. So delicious. This is a crab spider that we found out after Googling. Not cool. Don't like that. Don't know why he was inside of our house. He didn't last very long inside of our house. That was a crab. I don't think that was at ours though. I think that was down the row. Some of the views. Was I trying to take a picture of the fish here? Is there a fish in here? I can't see one. I'm pretty sure that's what I was trying to take a photo of. Take a picture of these fish. Alright, there you go. There's the fish. Oh yeah, they had a bakery at this place. This is a curry pan, so it's just literally filled with curry. Absolutely incredible. This was jam and custard. Also incredible. More waterfalls. That was a waterfall peeking through. We had to climb down to this one. Oh, back to the fish. Oh, we got Fern and Freren. Because they were very cheap and they fit together. They actually sit scooched together and it's very cute. So I had to get those. The ocean once again. I think someone's doing their garden next door. It was confusing me because it was just rhythmic enough that it sounded odd. Little statue by the ocean. Some pictures of the views from that spot. That one's a terrible photo. Yeah, oh yeah, then we went down to an actual fishing port area. So we were really close to the water. That water, very deep. You can kind of see the bottom a little bit through there, but yeah, very deep. My screen done this again. No. Is it cloudy or sea fret? What does fret mean? Do you mean fog? Oops. Are you looking down from the mountains up? Oh wait, I probably have to go back to these ones. Fog, yeah. It's definitely misty, and to be fair, some of this may actually just be low cloud because we're actually pretty high up. So yeah, a mix of both, I think. From the car, stopped because there was a heron. Very cool, very cool. Oh, we went for yakiniku. What was the air quality like in the cities versus more remote areas? I don't know what the index would be if you look up online what it actually is, but I don't think the air quality is that bad in Japanese cities. Honestly. It's definitely not, there's not a smog situation like there is in, I think it's China has quite a lot of issues with that. I don't think they have that. I might be wrong, but it didn't feel that bad. It didn't feel any worse. In fact, I would say that it felt better than London does in the heavy built up parts. But a lot of the time in Japan, I was kind of more in I don't know. I wasn't really there was never a point where I was ugh. Aside from obviously if you go behind a car or whatever and the exhaust is in your face. The bar is so low when you bring up London. yeah. No. It definitely, I mean, it's cleaner. Everywhere's cleaner. But I never felt oh, I've got that city smog in my nose. So I don't know. I've honestly never really considered it because I've never really had a problem with it in Japan. Yeah, this was a yakiniku, which was just delicious. And this was a little like... It was clearly a dad, his son, and then I think his wife turned up later because the son was quite young. And the menu that we ordered off, like we translated it, but they handed us an English menu that was, no joke, it was the menu items on the back of a brochure that someone had clearly translated for them, which was very sweet. And it was just, it was insane. This meat was insane. Loads of salad, like it was delicious. And there were some 2 old boys pissed over here. We could hear them talking about us, and they would talk to us every now and again and try and think of stuff to say to us. They were a good laugh. This was the street that we were staying on. In the dark, it looked awesome. Pictures doesn't do it justice, and I didn't attune the light levels for it. That one's a bit better. This is the Meteora that I got, which I really like, because it's based on the latest season. I just thought it was a cool figure. This is another curry. We had a lot of curry, I realized. Absolutely insane. This was a little lady on her own in seemingly the middle of nowhere, because that's what half of the places in Japan feel like. This was like beef, like stewed beef curry. And again, it was Japanese curry for sure, but it was just delicious. And again, I want to say she charged us like 2,500 at most for the 3 of us, which is absurd. Like absurd. It was so good. It was such a good curry. This was actually this was behind her shop. I don't think I've got a picture of it. Her shop's like here. I think this is back where we're staying. Yeah, you can see the divides. Very cool, very cool. What else? Oh, this isn't back where we're staying. We went on a walk around the town nearby. It was like a touristy walk. There were some cool bits and pieces. There's a lot of it's interesting if you look at any Japanese city or town or whatever. Why did I just get a notification? That must be from Amazon. Where there's like a very new house, then like an old house, like a rundown place, and then a new place. It's very interesting. It was just a cool road shot. Special about that. Mix of rooftops and poles and stuff. This was the edge of a temple. The temple was closing, so we didn't get any pictures inside of there. And this was a little shrine. Oh, it was a shrine of these trees. Like these giant trees were deemed important a long time ago. So that's why I got these little ropes around them. And so this shrine was built in there. Some generally like super cool buildings and stuff. And that guy was in the middle of that? No, other one. Must have been a different one. Little graveyard. Back to the beginning. Yeah, I'm nearly at the end of the pictures. Yeah, this was in the graveyard. There's just little lamps and bamboo. There was a few special ones like this. So yeah, oh god, there was a story to this. So I want to say it was like the feudal lord of the area, this area I assume, at some point in the Edo period, towards the end maybe. I might be making this up. Close enough anyway for the needs of this story. I think it was quite a successful feudal lord, and then it may even have been shogun. I don't remember. Either way, very important man. His son took over from him, and then his son was cast out by, I don't know whether his uncle or his brother was cast out and said he was ill, he cannot do this type scenario, where he was actually just kicked out. And then he was sent up. He was in an onsen, basically, and got murdered, got assassinated, I guess to make sure he couldn't come back. His grave is here. And then these are the graves of... They're unmarked because no one knows the names. These are the graves of the 13 retainers of the man. who was assassinated, who went and tried to do a coup against the guy who'd taken over, basically. And they were slaughtered along with him. And they were, like, honored here. So yeah, kind of crazy. And the very last photo that's definitely a love hotel. Whenever you see like a crazy looking hotel that looks like it's something out of a theme park, it's a love hotel. In fact, there are two here. Look, I actually got two. I didn't realize I got both of them in the photo. You've got Hotel Atlantis here, and then you've got Hotel Artia here with the fucking T-Rex on it. So that was the last picture, apparently, that I took in Japan. Yeah, and I think that concludes most. That's at least going through the pictures, that's everything that happened. But yeah, it was an insane trip. If I could show you a map of Japan as to where we were, we covered kind of all along the central part of Japan. In some very remote areas. The place with the graveyards and all the bit towards the end, that was in Izu, which is like 2 hours from Tokyo. So it's kind of crazy when you think about all the videos that you see, you know, hundreds of millions of tourists and they're everywhere and they're ruining everything. And it's so busy and all this kind of stuff. And it's awful in those spots. But you just go. Just get on a train, get a car, literally go anywhere else and it's gorgeous and there's no one around. I want to say even on the areas we knew there would be people, to be fair, even Osaka wasn't that bad. Like we didn't go to like, I guess the shopping district and I guess the like Osaka Castle, which would have been hell, I'm sure. Like we went to Denden Town, which is kind of like mini Akihabara. That's where I got all my figures and stuff. That was like mostly full of Japanese people and not that busy, which kind of surprised me, to be honest. So I don't know. Also, we went in June, which is supposed to be quieter, but who knows if that's actually real or not. So yeah, there's a bit of A and a bit of B there. But it was really wild seeing the difference. And like in Tokyo, we were there at the start and at the end, very briefly. And on the last day, I did go to Akihabara to try and find something specific. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was definitely like percentage of people who are definitely not Japanese, much higher. But in terms of like busyness and stuff, it wasn't that bad. I'm sure it'd have been worse if I'd like tried to go to certain things. But I did go and get food. I literally just walked off of the main street and found a sukiya, the little like rice and beef bowls that I'd shown a couple of times. Like I just walked off the street and it was fine. There was a spot there. And the sukiyas are insane, which is another reason to love them. No joke. You have a tablet. Everyone has a tablet, like an iPad, to order from, which is just the best. But also, put in your order. You press order. My food was with me in 60 seconds. Like, I was sat down, ordered my food, ate, and left within 8 minutes, I think. Like, it's I think they have I think Sukiya may have the thing. I think Jack was telling me that, like, their aim is 60 seconds or something like that. Or, like, 2 minutes or something. It's supposed to be, like, really low. But obviously, like, the food's not particularly complicated. And they can have lots of it on roll because that's kind of the only thing you can order there, really. So, yeah, it was great. It was absolutely great. What a fantastic trip. Fantastic time overall. Yeah, and if if anyone is ever lucky enough to have a chance to go to Japan for any reason, absolutely do it. I could not recommend it enough. It is my favorite place to go. Also, my phone's going to die. Do I have a plug here? Why is my phone on 1%? Hang on, chat. I'll be right back. My phone just suddenly was like, it's on 1% and gonna die. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, like I don't have much desire to go anywhere else. I don't know. I'm not really, I guess I'm not that much of a traveler in terms of like, never really been like, oh, I want to go to every country in the world and all that kind of stuff. Never really been like that, but I do love Japan. So I'm very fortunate in that sense. So I will definitely, I'll get back there someday. We'll see when the next opportunity arises. Hopefully before I'm too grey. But yeah, I think that kind of sums up most of the Japan trip. Obviously, if anyone has any questions or curiosities that they want to know, you can either ask me here or shove it in a channel somewhere. Discord later if you think of something. Always happy to talk. Oh, hilariously, I went to check my phone after that happened. Yeah, I might call the stream there. A little warm up, and we'll do a proper stream on Thursday. We've actually got a game to play. We have too much to go through now. We went through all the games. There's loads of shows and stuff, and anime to watch. There's a lot going on. But I might call it there for today, chat. Hopefully that was fun to go through the trip. I did try and post photos pretty accurately, but I realized some of them were out of order. But yeah, there were some really cool places. And I was sad to leave. Not sad to leave the bugs. I will say, I think that's the only... And admittedly, we were like super in the countryside a few times. But actually, one of the restaurants we were in had a cockroach. They're pretty common over there, and they're not, it's not a sign of uncleanliness. Necessarily in any way, but it was like that big, maybe that big. Yeah, probably like that big. Jack, I didn't know you could squish a cockroach. Apparently you can squish a cockroach. Jack managed to before it got to our table. But yeah, the like walking around at night with the bugs was crazy. Just getting attacked constantly. Not necessarily like bitten, but just there's just meant so many of them. But that was, again, we were in the middle of nowhere. In Osaka, or Nagoya or whatever, or Tokyo, didn't really notice them. And I'm sure that there are spiders and bugs and things that appear, but I guess they're here. They're much less. But because we kept going to remote areas, it was just so many bugs. Trying to keep doors and windows shut, with shutters and stuff to make sure that stuff doesn't get in. I don't mind bugs that much, but I don't like stuff crawling over me. But I certainly don't want to wake up. I don't want to wake up and see a huntsman on the wall. I understand that they're fine and they're not going to hurt me. It's just not a feeling I want to have. But yeah, it was good. It was good. And I'm very lucky to have gone. And I'm very lucky that I managed to come back and you folks have come to hang out for a while. Streams will be regular. I'm going away towards the end of the month to see Tough. So we got 2 this week and then 2 more weeks of streams. And then we'll be a week off and then back to normal again. So we're going to have to look at some games to play over the next few weeks. Streams might be getting longer at some point in the future, towards the end of the year. We might be able to do some longer streams, which means we might be able to attempt actual playthroughs of things. So we'll see. I need to kind of evaluate that. But yeah. Okay, chat. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Going to chill. Going to do the stuff I need to do in World of Warcraft probably. Gonna get some food. I am quite hungry. I did buy a rice cooker, hilariously, of course, because I went to Asia again and was like, I can't go back to crap rice. So I bought a proper rice cooker, and I set a timer to test to see if this works, and it should be done when I finish stream. So I'm pretty excited to see if that worked. So that's where I'm at. You all have a fantastic rest of your day, rest of your Wednesday. I will be back on Thursday. We'll be playing Oxygen Not Included. We can chat more about Japan or whatever. We'll see what that DLC's got in order. And then we need to think of stuff to play for the foreseeable. We will definitely check out the altars very soon too. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, chat. I really appreciate it. It's lovely to see you all. I hope you've all been well. And I will see you all on Thursday. Okay. Goodbye.